On today's episode of Unbinged, we're breaking down Gen V Season 2, Episodes 1 through 3. Guys, who is Cipher? What's he planning? There seems to be a lot going on there. We're going to break all that down. What's the end game for Project Odessa? How is this going to connect to The Boys Season 5? All that and more on an all-new episode of Unbinged starting now. Welcome into Unbinged, the podcast where we break down the movies and shows you love to binge. I'm your host, Alfredo Brown. Joined as always, I've got Jagger May, Matt Kopfhamer with me. We're talking about Gen V, episodes 1 through 3 of Season 2 here. It's a lot to cover, but before we get into that, we want to give you guys the spoiler warning.
This is your one warning that we're about to spoil the entire Boys universe. There's a lot of blood.
So the biggest question, I think, coming out of these first 3 episodes is, who is Cipher? What's the plan? What's going on here? What are the powers? I want to start this off with my theory, because I think they give us that opening scene of Thomas Godolkin and the Odessa Project back in the lab years and years ago for a reason. And my big theory is, I think that Cipher is Thomas Godolkin. I think he is a souped up version of Thomas Godolkin. And I think the name kind of says it all too. It's the breaking down of code, which if that's not understanding powers and DNA and all that and being
genetic
able to
code.
Yep. And if that is not being able to, well, I think what we've seen, or at least they've hinted at, is I think he can obtain people's powers, not take it, but be able to mimic it and keep it and just continue to do that as he learns it. That's my theory for all of this, of what he is doing. My question is, like, why step out of the shadows now? What is, like, there's so much to it. Jag, what do you think about Cipher here?
Well, we know that they put people in the freezer. You know, let's say that something crazy happens, and let's put it this way: if you've seen Midnight Mass, Hamish Linklater's on that same shit. He's on that bullpit, preaching some crazy shit, and that's kind of what he's doing. So I can imagine Homelander, when he found Soldier Boy again at the end of season 4 of The Boys, he's just like, hey, look at this souped up Nazi doctor. It's like, I could use one of those, and then kind of unleash him in there. So I don't hate it. I know we got the cutscene in the beginning, and I'm sorry, guys, but for you guys out there who have seen My Hero Academia, I'm going to reference anime. It's a power that's called like one for all, and like he literally absorbs people's power and he keeps it forever, and then he can like use it. So he just like absorbs shit, because that's what I've seen. And then like they kind of are loose with the cutscenes at the beginning, so that's what it feels like. I think, or maybe he injects himself. Like every power starts with him. Maybe that he like tries it out or some shit. I don't know.
So you're saying he's basically a super scroll where he can absorb and then use the powers. Now, do you think he can use them at the same time? Like he can use multiple powers at once, or is it like one at a time that he can use?
That I don't know. It just,
I mean, that's kind of like rubbing your belly and patting your head. Like, it's probably hard, but he can do it.
Maybe.
Yeah.
So like there was a few things
theory.
that like, sorry, I was going to say, like, there's a few things that stood out to me as to like why I believe that's his power as Cipher. It's like, there's a few things. One, he was the doctor that delivered Marie, and he looked the exact same. Like, this is not a guy that looks like he has aged roughly 20 years. And on top of that, if you go back to the scene with Cate, where he is like ready to put her hand in the blender, the lid is immediately back on when her hand is out, as if the lid was never removed in the first place. Ooh, and I'm wondering if he actually put that in her head because he was using her powers, because he touched her, took those powers. Like, that's where I think this is all going with the little room of requirement that he's got there. The danger room is that he is trying to get everyone to their absolute power peak so that he can then obtain all of their peak powers.
It becomes like this soup. That I love that. And I think we get exposition from the other girl that Emma's with, those little starlighters, you know, where she just I can take other people's powers,
but for 60
seconds. Like maybe her, I can't believe I mentioned My Hero Academia because I want to call it a quirk, but like her little power there is she hasn't worked it out yet. Like how strong, like maybe she can only do 60 seconds right now. And maybe, and again, like if he's been trying all these powers on all these people or himself for a long time, what is the potential for that? And maybe he already has it where it's like, hey, I can borrow your power for like 2 days, or
well, that's what
something like
Cipher
that.
said. He's like, there is really no limit to your powers. You guys just don't know what they are yet because you're not. And like,
Exactly.
that seems to be a theme here where like they're talking about it with Emma, and you're seeing it where it's like when she quite literally feels small. It reminded me of Pennywise and It. Like when she felt small, she became small. When she felt confident and happy, she got really big. Talking about like the self-harm with Marie. Like there's so much of them. Like your powers need to evolve. Cough. I'm so sorry. We have been cutting you off. Go.
No, it's all good. I just find it interesting that for all the talk of being like power up and all these people getting stronger in their powers, you contrast that to someone like Andre who died because of his powers, and how we have to remember these powers come with a cost. There seemingly is no power that just gives you no consequence. Like, so I wonder if that's gonna be something we see later on in the season as the dean pushes them to get to their full potential. What is going to be the cost of that, right? Like eventually Marie's power, she can only hold so much blood in her own body. So where is her limit before her powers peter out, because she literally runs out of blood? And same thing with Emma and even Jordan, where there's going to be these limitations, and I think we're going to explore those limitations. And are they going to overcome them, or are they going to be stopped by them? And is that something that the dean can then use for his own machinations at some point?
And he straight up said, "He's like, you guys are soldiers. Everyone else, they're marketing. Like they are funding what we want right here. It's like, yeah, go out and make my money, bitch. I have my number ones out here. They straight up pimp them out. Is what is like they pimp these people out, and if you're one of the real ones that now in their Ubermensch army, let's just call it what it is. That's how it started. Even their little fucking Nazi bad room, when they popped that open, I was just like, yep. It's like, not surprised there that they got the clan robes and all that memorabilia still in there. So he wants to not only raise up an army, but again, how are you going to control these people? You need to make yourself stronger so you can always have that thumb down. And we already know that they study them as well. So there's like multiple facets of what they're doing.
That's a crazy wrinkle to have in there too, because you've got some of the strongest heroes in this class are a bigender Asian and a black girl. And like, I'm wondering how that is playing. Is he like, I have to think he is using them to the fullest extent here, not actually looking at them as heroes. And I wonder how much of it is also just like trying to control these people that are not of like, how much has that evolved where it's not even a white thing anymore. It's just a superior race thing, right? Like where is that? Cause that's kind of like where Homelander is. It's like, I don't even know that he cares about white, black, or any of that stuff. It's very much just soup are the superior
and not
race.
Soup. Yeah. Cause he basically, that's like what he was like getting like a handy from Stormfront. It would just be like, you need to make your super army. He's just like, no, stop. I was like, I'm not into that.
Even Homelander draws the line at racism.
He's like, no. He's like mud people are people that without powers, not.
Yeah.
So that brings up a really good point. Do you think that Cipher and whoever the power behind Cipher is letting Homelander be the face of this movement, even and letting him believe he's the real power, but then just manipulating everything from the background?
I would believe that. Yeah. Homelander he's smarter than what some people think, but not really. And I will say Homelander is getting wiser. He's not getting smarter. Does that make sense? Like season 4, he learned that, hey, I can't surround myself with idiots, even though he's still too proud to like not do that. Yeah, to not do that. So like it's not like he's hard to manipulate if someone. And again, man, what powers does he have? Does he have sage powers? He clearly knows everything. Like that's not on the table. He could have like super smart powers,
Where's Sister Sage fit in all this? That's where I want to know, because if she's the true brains behind everything, where does she fit in?
Well, so I want to talk about that. I want to talk about Project Odessa, Homelander, Marie, how all of this fits in, because we're obviously we're going to get to how this fits into The Boys season 5. We've already had the cameos. Before we do that, let's just do something really quick here, guys. We have a giveaway going on right now. We are giving away 2 $100 Amazon gift cards for the best theory that we get in the YouTube comments down below, or if you're listening on Spotify, you have the ability to leave a comment there. Also, Apple Podcasts is where we're going to do the other giveaway. And in that, you put your best theory or review or any type of comment you want about the show into a review for us on Apple Podcasts. It helps us out so much to grow as a new and independent podcast. It's just trying to get out there. And please share this with your friends, your family, the people that are watching these shows with you, so you can keep the conversation going. We got a bunch of great shows coming up right now. Obviously, we're talking about Gen V. We're finishing up Alien Earth. We're finishing up Peacemaker, but there's also Task, Landman, It, Welcome to Derry, Stranger Things, Fallout. We've got a lot of great content coming for you guys here in the fall season. This Project Odessa, I know that this is being set up for a lot of questions, but what we already know about it is that Project Odessa made Homelander. And it turns out it also made Marie. And these seem to be the only 2 known heroes made by Project Odessa. Am I getting that right? Like, that's all I've seen from this.
As far as we've known, and a lot of them have
I
died.
think
Like,
so.
apparently, yeah, a lot of them have died. Like, we clearly get that. They probably tried to make several Homelanders. I'm kind of wondering if Marie can be the antithesis of Homelander, you know, because
That's-
her power.
Ooh.
Yes. That's where I'm at, is I think that she actually might be the only one that's strong enough to take him out. Like, it probably would have been Victoria Newman had she not been so apathetic. Because, like, I remember watching that in season 1. She gets apathetic to just play the game, you know, do the politics of it all, smile and wave, boys. I think Marie can be that person.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's because it's blood.
Maybe, because
You
we
gotta
do
think
see.
about, like, sorry, Kopf. Go
Go,
ahead.
Kopf.
I was just say her fight against Vicor, she almost stops his heart, and then he's able to like restart it manually with like punching himself. So I wonder if she gets to the point of power where she can literally just stop a heart in an instant, or like you said, pop Homelander's brain. Because that was always the question with Newman was, is she actually strong enough to burst his brain? And he even tempted her. He's like, fucking try it and see what happens. So we never got that answer. So I think that was on purpose, though, to let us get to the point where Marie can power up to be that true stopping power against Homelander.
And to bring it full circle back to what you were talking about, if Cipher is trying to control Homelander, on top of that, let's beef her up. Because, like, you got to think about it. Newman was hidden away in like a closet, like essentially. So she didn't get the training that a lot of these other people did. She could essentially rip the blood, or at least rip the
compound
V
V,
right
maybe.
out of his, the compound V right out of his bloodstream. I'm trying to think, like, she technically could like Magneto the fuck out of him, like Wolverine, you know?
That's exactly what I was
Rip the
about to say. Is like
adamantium
Marie could not only be the one to like be able to combat this virus because of her blood bending abilities, but actually just remove people's powers and remove Soups altogether. And maybe that's where all this ends up years from now. Because I mean, The Boys is going to end, right? With probably most likely, I'd assume, with Homelander's death. And I think Gen V is going to continue on. And so, like, where
We
does the
have the
story
Mexico.
continue on? Yeah, right. Like, there's going to be so many different spinoffs, which, by the way, less of a talking point, more of just a quick statement. I think that Gen V right now is outdoing The Boys in its own universe.
I think season 4 it's a little bit of recency bias. You're not wrong. Like, this is just way more enjoyable than season 4 was. I just binge watched it all straight up in there. And then season 4 is the first time where I felt like this show needs to end. So it's almost like season 4 had to do a lot of homework to get us to, like, let's hope to be a good finale. So it's almost not fair. But, like, again, like these last 3 episodes, they're just fresher. I just like the look of where we almost learn the origins more in Gen V of Compound V and what their entire purpose is, more than we get that in The Boys. The Boys is just like, how do we kill him? Whereas Gen V is more like, how did we get here type thing. And I think that's a very interesting lens. And that's not even, I forgot we got the prequel, you know, that we're gonna, like, Avant Rising.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know?
Oh, with Homelander. Or with Super.
So Gen V-
No, Soldier Boy.
Soldier Boy. So like Gen V can
Soldier
really
Boy,
be a
thank you.
connector both forwards and backwards if you think about it, you know.
Mhm. I that's why I think they're probably going back with this, like the Project Odessa, Thomas Godolkin, because I know like in the comics he's sort of a like Professor X type character, but like in like a perversion
He's a perverted
sort of way
Professor
where
X. Yeah.
yeah.
It's just playing on Professor X.
And I think like what they're probably
Yeah.
doing here is just doing a little bit more of like his perversion is the actual powers of these students. I'm so intrigued by this because I do think that he is in some sort of accord with Homelander. And I do think that they are like the idea of this whole like class or course that they're doing with this whatever we want to call it, the X-Men Danger Room that he has, is essentially to make an army of perfect soups, or is it for him to be a sort of soup ubermensch by obtaining all of the top powers? Yes,
I think it's yes.
Both.
Ultimately, it's like all-consuming power. What is the ultimate checkmate? Like having the ultimate army of soldiers and being able to control the ultimate army of soldiers.
Well, because then imagine if we're talking about how Marie's powers of the bloodbending can like potentially alter DNA or like remove whatever. What if it's basically like you're either with us or against us, and if you're against us, we are going to remove your your powers, and you're
Make
human.
you human.
Mm-hmm.
Or
So it could be like
Or just
all
blow
the
your
humans-
ass up. I was like,
or
just-
make all
just-
of the humans super.
Yeah.
That way there are no more humans,
Oh,
and it's
if
like
everyone's super,
like a
no one's super.
like a reverse genocide type deal here, where it's just like, well, we want to get rid of the humans, let's just make everybody super. 'Cause, like, he has that, I don't want to call it a throwaway line, but my mind immediately went to A Bug's Life, where he's like, those ants outnumber us 100-1. If they ever wise up and turn on us, they could beat us. Like, that's exactly how Homie was talking about the humans. And I was just like, he's kind of cooking here. Like, he's spitting facts to these kids.
That's what I tell my dad. He's like, "Why are you a socialist?" I was just like, "Look, just pop out of Bug's Life."
Shout out to Bug's Life. Such a good movie.
So do you think there's a point where Marie can pull a Avatar Last Airbender and she fights Homelander and just takes his powers and leaves him like Lord Ozai at the end, where it's like, I don't have my power anymore. And that's where we leave
I think
Homelander
that'd
for
be kind
season
of cool.
5.
Yeah.
I think that'd be really cool, where it's like, it's not even that he dies. What's worse is that he's just a dude.
Mm-hmm.
He's human.
I took away your bending.
Yeah.
Becomes the thing that he hates.
Because could you imagine then? Because everyone expects season 5 to be Billy Butcher versus Homelander, one final epic showdown. But what if it's Homelander without powers having to either realize all the shitty things he did and become a better person, or Billy is now the ultimate big bad because he has no one to oppose him, so he's just murdering soups across the board.
See, and this is why I think that we have two shows that have built two missiles, because clearly, like, we're talking about Marie as a weapon to soups. That is like, to me, that is the outer shell of what is this Russian doll, if that makes sense. Like, if she can kill soups, what could she do to us? That's just like snapping fingers and then like, bloop, there goes the crowd.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
some Dr. Manhattan shit there. So like, she's the ultimate weapon against humanity that they're trying to shoot at us. I mean, granted, like a blade can turn in its hand, to quote, like, what is it, Sun Tzu or some shit like that, or and then we have Billy Butcher over here with whatever fucking, I think more dangerous weapon, because it's literally just a trigger and not a person who can make decisions. So I don't know, man. There's multiple ways where we can get a big bang, and I think that's what they've done a really good job at this point. Like some Marvel-esque in a small way, where we're setting up to like a big event.
I feel like what they're getting to is, and what kind of is always the underlying theme of all of this, and it's the underlying theme of life too, is that fear has generated anger, and out of fear you take very coarse actions, right? And I kind of love the idea of all these characters, Homelander, Billy Butcher, maybe even Marie, like becoming the thing that they dislike or the thing that they don't want to be, right? And like Marie so desperately wants to be a hero, a good hero. What if she finds like that the only way to keep going forward is to do these bad things, right? Like Homelander becoming human, Billy Butcher becoming the evil soup, like all these things. It's kind of poetic that it's just like the fear actually, it's very Anakin-esque. Like the fear leads you to become the thing you never wanted to happen or do. And it feels like it would make the most sense, which I don't know how many minutes into this episode right now, but America, like, yeah, we're there.
If anything, she's like,
and didn't Jordan
at least
literally?
from what
I was gonna say,
Go ahead.
didn't Jordan literally call Marie the chosen one at some point?
that's
Yeah.
So I wonder if they
Well-
are playing with that.
yeah, and it's a chosen one where you are like, and I'm okay with that because like obviously the chosen
Fuck
one, it's
Frodo.
always going to be around, and it's always it's funny, it's always going to be around, and it's always going to be a little bit tired. But this is different because it's like we tried to force our chosen one several times. It's it's not like a prophecy. It's just like, hey, you are the one experiment that worked. Like you're not the chosen one. You're just the not fucked up one. You're the last pancake.
The last one standing. Yeah.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
last pancake is great. So, I mean, we talked about like Jordan, I think has become, I mean, was always a very interesting character, but now, and I think this ties into it great. Jordan finally got what they wanted, which was to be number one and realize it's not all it's cracked up to be. And I think they already realized that way prior to becoming number one. But like, this is one of these things where they finally get up on stage, they have to make the speech, and there's going to be some repercussions.
Well, I mean, I think it might. Obviously, there's going to be repercussions. What's weird is like we knew this was going to happen, so I'm not scared of those repercussions because that danger was always there. It was inevitable. If anything, they just put the accelerator on it a little bit. The big thing that, and I'm not trying to like not answer your question. I really want to talk about Cate because she's becoming the cricket of the boys universe, man, where I really would worry about her as a villain. Cause you want to talk about some Professor X type shit. They're already like making her bald. They like trying to cripple her and shit like that. If she works out that ability a lot more, we already know, man, we already seen this in comics. If you are an incredibly strong a psychic or telepath or whatever, of like what that can do and just how that can overpower someone like Homelander. It's like Homelander is bulletproof with laser eyes, but if you can get in his head and break it, what is that? And I was worried they're just going to push this girl over the edge and she's going to fucking Jean Grey that entire school and everybody in it.
I wonder if they're going to play with the Wanda Maximoff storyline, and Cate gets almost like a no more supers moment where she literally can make people believe when they have powers that they don't, and so that way
make them forget.
There's almost like
we
this
get our
running
real House of
storyline.
N, but the boys.
I wonder because seemingly
it almost happened in season
Cate
1.
is a
She
very
had him
tragic
locked in
character. Yeah. Like she is such a tragic character. You're like, yeah, she's doing shitty things, but you look at how she was raised. Like her parents feared her and locked her away. Dean Shetty,
she's
literally,
Team Homelander
like,
out of
mentally
fear
manipulated
right
her.
now.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. So how long before you push this poor girl until she snaps and then everything goes to shit because she can't handle the pressure anymore?
I wonder, there was a moment there where Jordan admits to being the one that attacked Cate. I couldn't get a read on how Cate was acting emotionally to that. Was she kind of like, oh, you did the thing? Or is it like, I don't care, it's too late, like I'm still mad? I'm curious to see where that goes.
Too.
I'm sure. Oh yeah, emotion's way more complicated than that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just curious as to where this character is going to go because there's not only the tension building with Cate and Jordan and Cate and Marie, but there's Cate and Sam. Like Sam is going through it right now, seeing puppets out on the lawn, and like just having a major crash out, and all of this obviously stems from his own actions, but so much of it stems from Cate taking away his ability to simply even feel. Like, I know the character himself has been sidelined a bit, but there's going to be some ramifications for that coming down the pipe.
Well, you got to think about it. We already saw what happens because, like, they didn't eliminate Sam's memory on anything very often. Like, he remembers everything.
Yeah.
But with Golden Boy, with Luke, she was wiping his memory constantly, and that's what he finally cracked. And that, like, even if Cate had her powers, this was going to happen at some point. You know, like, you can only put so much stuff into that vault, and he already was a ticking time bomb. So, like, it's crazy that Vought just kind of lets him walk around, but I know that's kind of like their whole thing right now. You know, because he's just dangerous for everyone. Because you got to think he was stronger than Luke. Would you just, like, he's basically Homelander without laser eyes, essentially. So and maybe he has those. We just don't know.
We don't know.
Yeah.
And one thing I want to point out in the framing of the speech from Jordan, did you notice how the posters that were next to hers when they put them up? So on one side you had the female heroes, Brave Maeve and I forget the Scarlet one that died, and then the other side with the guys who had Lamplighter and Luke and Golden Boy, all heroes that are dead or presumably dead in Maeve's case. So is that a subtle foreshadowing that Jordan's going to die?
Foreshadowing. Wow. I think that would be the death that probably hits the most as a character.
Or Emma
in this season.
Yeah.
Oh man, Emma.
But especially, you got to think of it.
I would riot, dog.
I'd probably stop watching. I'm not gonna lie.
No.
Like if we lost Emma, she and Hamish Linklater's character Cipher, like those are my two MVPs for the show right now. They are everyone's doing a great job. Those two just steal every scene they're in.
Yeah, like but
I could also see
Molly thing. Sorry, Kopf, go ahead.
Oh yeah, great. No, you're good. I know I'm delayed. I was just gonna say, going back to Jordan, like with her and Marie telling each other they love each other, and like getting that emotional catharsis, I think they're setting up Jordan to be a sacrificial lamb, and whether it's to protect Marie or just to maybe cause her to, I don't know, maybe it's like we'll kill her if you don't come with us kind of thing, or kill them. Sorry.
What if Marie accidentally kills Jordan? Going through her new powers. There's already a scene in the promos where the two of them are going to have to fight. Where they're doing like a sort of Shang-Chi like celebrity deathmatch thing, and then they're going to be training a lot together. Like, you never even know like what happens as Marie's powers grow and she doesn't know how to use them. God, that would just be like that fits the boys' universe, because it would be tragic as fuck.
Yep.
Well, this got depressing. Guys, so who's the favorite character so far? Because like for me, I think it's Hamish Linklater's character Cipher, who there's the most intrigue. That's why. From who's making me laugh and I'm having fun with, it's Emma, right? It's Lizzie Broadway's character, who's just fantastic. There's so much going on there. But Hamish Linklater's character Cipher, there is just such a flippance to everything he says, a sort of emotional detachment, where even when Jordan goes on stage, like, he knows that there is a high probability Jordan just says whatever the fuck they want on stage. And he didn't seem to react at all. He was like, well, on to the next thing, and just sort of walked away. And I think I love that with this character.
It's kind of a parallel.
He's Kirsch.
If you're one of the people who are, fuck you, Kopf. God damn it. That's literally what I was about to say, dude. Like, it's like if you're watching Alien Earth, it's the same thing.
Man of science.
He's just watching. He's just like, interesting. Like something like not even. You got to remember, like, Shetty would have been like crashing out on the stage, like any other person. Ashley, Homelander, and he's just like, like, noted.
I like that he cuts the bullshit.
Yeah,
he cuts the bullshit. Like, even in the first sit down with Marie, he's like, yeah, you're like one eye twitch away from jumping over this table and trying to kill me. He's like, let's not do the whole song and dance, right? Like, there's such a man of science, like, very matter of fact. This is what it is. You die, you die. You live, you live. Whatever you say happens. Whatever. Let's just go to the next thing.
And let's think things through. It's like we go tell Homelander. It's like, I did this and this happened. It's like, then you don't have
Then what
powers. What's
happens?
going to happen then? Like,
Oops.
yeah. Oh man.
Is he the favorite character for you guys, or is there someone else
think-
like throughout these first 3 episodes that's really popping?
I think you nailed it. It's like he's intriguing, and then there's Emma. Like Emma's always going to be number one, but Linklater, he's my favorite boys villain that we've had outside of Homelander. I liked Stormfront too, but she's kind of fucking racist and mean. Like I've seen that. Like this is like different,
I think honestly, my favorite character so far has been Polarity. Like the way he has reacted to Andre's death, the way he has jumped into helping Emma, Marie, and co. I find him really intriguing, and I wonder if there's going to be a point, because he has the same medical malady that Andre had, where he's going to be put in a position where they're trapped and he can kill himself trying to let them escape. Is he going to honor Andre's death by doing that, and we're going to see that on screen? Or is he going to be selfish and let them all get captured and continue living? So I'm intrigued by his character and what his true motivation is, and if we can actually trust him. But my favorite side character so far has been the bee lady. Like she reminds me of Ashley, but then the whole running stinger bit fucking makes me laugh every time. Do you want to die? I don't want to die. Get away.
Who do you think, like, where do you think Chekov's stinger comes up in the story here?
I don't know if anyone's gonna
I hope
die
Rufus.
yet from that we've seen.
Oh, that'd be great.
He deserves it. He's a piece of shit, dude.
Dickless.
I'm happy he has no dick.
Dickless Wonder.
I was gonna say maybe maybe someone
Sorry,
who comes
what
up for a
she said-
selfie.
When she was like, "Why do you pee sitting down?" He's just like, "Cause it's more comfortable."
It's more comfortable.
Fucking got me.
It's like, sure. He's like,
She's like, "I do have a dick." It's just great.
I have a dick, totally.
Cough, would you let the bee lady spit in your mouth?
Ugh, no. That
a honey
freaked
fan,
me out.
huh?
The honey
Cops
bit,
out here
I
just
didn't
honey
that.
nutting
I didn't like that
Cheerios.
too much.
Honestly, that's where the delay was comedic, because he's like, it's like you're processing it. It's just like,
Think about
I'm
it.
gonna play into it now. I'm gonna play into the delay. I'm just gonna say something off the cuff and like trying to catch
I gotta get new fucking internet. God damn it.
No. I mean, we're good. When this comes out, we always end up being like right on schedule because the local recordings are different. But man, like there was a lot from these 3 episodes. I know we're not covering it all. They introduced a lot of characters to us. Like I loved the Rememberer. I thought that was a really funny scene. Emma just popping in, like realizing that she didn't actually take a Xanax, and she's like, "I'm rolling so hard right now." And you could just kind of see, like, when she has that moment where she's not stressed out about everything, she was able to use her powers. Like she felt smart, she felt big about herself, and I think that's a cool thing is showing how these characters are going to be able to use their powers in non-harmful ways, and like the actual good they can do with it. One of the other characters that got introduced, Dognot. Cough, I know you're not in love with this name.
Gross. No, it's
Ew.
a terrible name. If you know what that reference is, you'd
I
be
just
grossed
thought
out
it
too.
through. I was like,
It's
what the
referencing his
fuck?
dick.
That is, I know. I got it now.
It's referencing.
I was
his
just
penis.
like, yeah. It's what?
What? That's the right reaction. That should be the reaction you have.
I don't think I actually like comprehended his name or heard it. And then I was just like, what? That's a lot. Even for me.
That's a lot.
Especially when he
yeah,
looks at the
it was-
dog,
it
he's
was
like,
kind
little
of a-
cock teasing bitch. I was like, oh. Ooh.
Yeah, that was weird. That was weird. I really hope they don't go
Mhm.
further into that.
Yeah, I don't know.
But yeah, it was like an interesting. I mean, it was obviously a Dog the Bounty Hunter reference, and then like a little bit of Sabretooth to him, sort of thing.
The color scheme was nice.
Yeah. We get a couple
Mhm.
cameos here. We get Starlight and then the Deep. Starlight was more of like the plot device of like we need. It was sort of like like Doc Brown, like Marty, we gotta get you back to the future. Your kids, and like that was like Starlight just shows up and she's like, you've got to figure out Project Odessa. It's just like
Odessa.
goodbye.
Or like a video game based off a movie franchise. One of the main
Yes.
characters, it's like, we need you to do this mission, and then you're like, okay, that was Han Solo.
Now I'm a Star Wars outlaw, and then like the opening credits show up.
Exactly.
I am the boy. Got it. So the Deep was an awesome cameo that we got here in the
Every
fraternity. 5 years of being fraternity president, which is just a feat in itself. I was a fraternity president 1 year and I absolutely hated it. It was one of the worst years of my entire life. So to do it 5 years and to do it as a freshman and then to stand around and not graduate, just perfect for the Deep. It's just like it was just chef's kiss the way they portrayed this.
And I love his facial hair. It's like never was not fucking douchey. Like
Yeah.
every year.
It was the worst of whatever that era was.
Yeah. Oh man.
Do you think he drank a lot of Mountain Dew Code Red?
With Everclear.
Oh, for sure. Oh.
Remember Sage insulting Firecracker? She's like, I'm sure there's Mountain Dew and Everclear. I've actually drank that because I'm from Arkansas. I was like, wow, someone knew. Like this was a very, very personal insult. Yeah.
Kopf, last thing on here. You wrote something about like how the school has now an all soup staff and all superhero staff but it's interesting though, is because like that's just teachers. We do have the barista who's working in like the student center, who is still human, dealing with threats of like everything from killing her to raping her to whatever. There's a lot going into this. You had an interesting story. I want you to share this because you were talking about like what a school in Florida was actually doing.
Yeah, so I live pretty close to New College in Florida. And a couple of years ago, Ron DeSantis, governor of Florida, decided that New College was a little too liberal with how they ran their staff, ran their curriculum, who they attracted as students. So he literally swept the entire board of trustees out, got a whole new faculty, and kind of turned it into like this conservative ideal. And it tickled my brain when I saw that what they were doing with God You in the show. I was like, damn, this really hits close to home. Like what they were doing with a seemingly liberal college and trying to convert it into their ideal version of what higher education should be and what it teaches. And it just goes to show like this is when you weaponize knowledge and you taint it and you turn it into something that you can create almost your own army of people who think the same, act the same. Yeah, and thank you.
I mean,
indoctrination. The same thing that they always, yes. So by changing the avenues of how people can obtain knowledge, they can taint how they think later on. And so what is going to be the end result of what they're doing to God You and creating this atmosphere of like, it's us versus them, soups or nothing. The humans take over, we're all dead. Like they're instilling this fear and this anger in this superpowered base. And what's going to be the result of that? Are we going to see some sort of like civil war by the end of this season?
This is Harry Potter last book when Voldemort takes over type shit, you know?
Yeah, what's interesting, man, is like it's not only are we getting the real life examples of it, but you can even see the way that they are, I don't want to say weaponizing because that's not the right word, but they are taking advantage of the let's call them the minority students in here, of like they even just use Jordan Lee because of the posterity of like it'll actually work for the people who do enjoy or do support that kind of quote lifestyle. So much so that like they're so obtuse to what it even means that they're having Jordan say it's transtastic even after he's like, sorry, they are like, I'm not trans, I'm bigender. And they're like, yeah, whatever. Same. I've never met someone so ungrateful. Just smile and say the words.
Okay, queer. That's basically it was just like
Yeah.
might as well have said that.
I mean, that's really what it once again, like it's not to keep comparing it to real life, but it's very much the person who's like, I'm not racist, I have a black friend, you know? It's kind of similar here where it's like, no, we are not, anti woke agenda, even though they say it all the time in this show jokingly. Like, look, we've got a trans as the number one student, and even when the student's like, I'm not trans, they're just like, well, whatever, same diff.
And then it turns into
Like,
it turns into shut up and dribble the ball. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say that too. Or it's like with my name, they'd be like, I've literally had someone call me Jamal first. Like it's like not even you started one syllable correctly. That's a good start.
That's so impossibly racist.
Yeah, I've had it happen, dude. And then they're like, well, it's like you guys all have these strange names. I'm like, I'm named after a white man. What the fuck?
You guys all have these strange names.
Yeah, I'm named after Mick Jagger and Bob Dylan. Like these are the very prominent white men.
Doesn't get whiter.
It does not get whiter, man. Like one true columnist, and then
Oh no.
and Bob Dylan, the original hipster.
Man, this has been a lot like to go over for these first 3 episodes. I'm sure we missed stuff. Let us know in the comments if you think there's something we missed, some theories that you guys have that you think we could expand on going forward here. But we're gonna be back again next Thursday on YouTube for our next episode of Gen V. That'll be episode 4, and we're gonna be here all throughout the season. Like I mentioned, we're also doing Alien Earth, Task, Peacemaker. We've got Stranger Things coming up, Landman. There's so many great shows that are going to be here that we are going to be covering on Unbinged. So make sure you subscribe to the channel, whether that's on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, wherever you enjoy your podcasts. As always, I want to thank everybody for watching or listening all the way through. For myself, for Jag, for Kopf, we'll see you next time. Adios.